Hi, Allie. It's just us. It's only us, no one else.
There, Patty.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm good, hanging in there, trying to stay dry.
Right?
Oh my God, and keeping my fingers crossed that I don't get any online inquiries or phone calls that, hey, the sky is falling in my apartment.
Right? It only when the wind blows or the clouds leak.
Yeah, yeah. And I love it when they jack up the heat and they're like, oh, there's water on the inside of my windows. Because it's freaking hot in here. And it's cold outside.
You might want to try using some ventilation.
Yeah.
It works wonders.
Yep.
I had a kid once, young kid, just going away to college. And kept saying that his electric bill was so high because he had to keep the air conditioner going so the trash didn't stink.
I guess it never crossed his mind that he should take it down and get rid of it. Oh boy. Don't you just love it?
The electric bill's so high because, I got to keep running the air conditioner so the trash doesn't stink.
I would understand if we were living like in Arizona where it's 112. But no, not here.
All right, Arlene's on. I'm going to let her in. We'll join the little Patty powwow. Arlene's one of us. Hey, Arlene, it's just us normal folks here. A seasoned property manager so far today. I have Ollie Ottsturm in here, and she's here to talk with us. So if you want to mute yourself and just have a little powwow with the three of us, more than welcome to. She's going to be like, Patty, you're a nut. Yes, I am.
Venting session is now open.
Yes. 101. Oh, it's going to be very interesting moving forward. Very interesting.
I know.
It can't keep going the way that it's going. The metal's got to hit the meat.
Yep.
They're making it difficult.
I know I'm a worrywart. I guess you know that by nature. But with this deal with my house, it's just like something I can't wrap my head around. And I just need to learn that, there's things that are not in my control, and there's no use stressing out about it. But I'm telling you, the thought of selling that house and buying something in Arizona is looking very tempting right now.
Well, I'll tell you, during the COVID pandemic, I sold one in LA City, did a 1031 tax exchange and reinvested in Riverside. And I sold one in LA County, did a 1031 tax exchange and reinvested in San Bernardino.
Yeah.
So
I already own a triplex in Arizona. And I mean, it's like you're going back in time over there. Over there, it's still, 30-day evictions. Where like here, it's 8 to 9 months.
Well, in some
happen?
You're right. Well, we are the homeless state.
Yeah.
The gimme homeless state. Gimme's in the homeless.
Yeah, I saw an interview on the news the other day. They were interviewing this homeless lady, and she's like, oh yeah, California is the best. This is where all the homeless should be. They take such good care of us. I'm like, damn it.
I seriously think that we should convert our abandoned shopping malls into homeless encampments, make it an arrestable offense, lock them up, and get them the help that they need.
Yeah.
When they show that they can be a genuine member of society, we will put them on a work release program. And once they prove that they're worthy, we will set them free and send the bill to the state that shipped them here to rehabilitate them for $1.2 million.
Amen, sister. Because they do
Good
need
idea,
help.
Patty.
They do need help. It's they just put a Band-Aid on it.
But if we took the abandoned shopping malls, I mean, there's huge anchor stores there. Look at, let me take the Hawthorne Mall for an example.
I was just going to say that.
There's Montgomery Wards. That's a huge anchor store. You could make that into a drug rehabilitation center. You could take the Broadway part and turn that into somebody that needed mental assistance for somebody that has some sort of mental issues. And then you could use all the little shops and turn those into like apartment units for people with families that needed assistance.
Mhm.
And you actually put that to where you had a drug rehab facility, where you had a veterans assistance facility. It has the feeding capabilities with the food court. So it just
Mhm.
makes sense to convert an abandoned shopping mall into a homeless encampment. You could have all these little sections for families and veterans and drug rehab and get these people the help they need rather than just, and I know for a fact, there would be a bunch of businesses that would gladly pay $500 a month just to keep them off their storefront.
Yes. Yes.
So that would help us to pay to facilitate what I'm talking about.
I was a teenager when the Hawthorne Mall opened up. I remember it was a big to-do. I went to the grand opening. My parents took me. And I'm 56 years old right now.
I'm
And
50 and I lived 5 blocks from there. I spent every day there after school.
yeah, exactly. I drive by there and it's just so sad. There it is, sitting vacant for nothing.
Yeah.
I love
Patty,
your
it's such a
idea.
good it's such a good idea. Have you brought it up to city council or to Dan, who may have some
Well,
input?
abandoned shopping malls all over. So in San Bernardino, we have Carousel Mall. I mean, they're
Yeah.
going like hotcakes. It just makes sense to revamp that space. They're already for all those people. It would be easy to convert it into a homeless encampment, if you will.
Yeah, they have a huge cafeteria, like you said, the food court.
You could turn
Mhm.
Sears into a drug rehab. You could turn Montgomery Wards into a veterans assistance. You could have a work release program. You could have for people with children. You could
You can
have
even have medical services there. Like, you know, my daughter works for Facebook and they have, it's like a campus. They have,
Right.
if you want to go to the doctor, there's a little office over there that there's a doctor. You can
Right.
put like medical students there, you know, being overseen by a head doctor, let's say, one with a lot of experience. And it's a win-win for everybody.
and it's not going to cost a fortune to build it. It's already there.
Yep.
Just saying. All right, so I guess our power is over. So if you guys are just dodge morning about anything and everything, we're actually talking about a way to combat the homelessness problem in California. And if you missed that part, just so everybody knows, we think it would be great to put them in the abandoned shopping malls. I mean, hey, why not? You know, there's great anchor stores. There's already a cafeteria. Kind of makes sense. Think of how many jobs it would create. But yeah, that's Patty's little blonde idea for how to combat the homelessness problem. Make it an arrestable offense, convert the shopping malls into homeless encampments and get them the help they need. We could have, like I said, facilities in there to actually help them with drug rehab or mental. We could do work release. I mean, it's actually a really good idea. It would provide a lot of jobs. Yes, Walmart's also might be a great place to have those homeless encampments. Well, they do have a food court in Walmart. So yeah, I'm with that. That would work. Yeah. Hi, Val. Walmart is closing all Portland stores. Send them there. Hi, Victor. Yeah, Walmart is closing a few stores. My thought was just the abandoned shopping malls kind of are already built for what we would need them for. Kind of. It wouldn't take much to make that workable, so to speak. They have the restrooms. They don't have showers, though. That's the only thing. There's no showers in the mall. But, you know, we could build that. We could tweak that around a bit. I'm just letting everybody, they won't shower anyway. You're right, Val, they won't. And I can see you. I'm so happy. All right, you guys, let's get going. Hello, Ivana. Hello, Patty. What should I inspect while inspecting apartment units routinely property in Larso. Doesn't matter where it is. Let me let these peeps in. Hello, everybody. Letting everybody in, just getting everybody joining us. Bear with me. I'm trying to get you all in here. Good morning. Good morning. I think I got us all in for the moment. Yay. So we're rocking and rolling. Let me answer questions. I was just going to answer that. Val, I want to talk to you and Tammy, so I'm going to probably give you a call either this evening or tomorrow evening. I just want to catch up. Feels like you guys got everything greased and your oils are working and your engine's running fine, so I don't hear from you. So I just want to touch base and be like, hello, do you remember me? Sorry, I am a weirdo. Okay, let's talk about inspections. I know, squirrel. I inspect twice a year is the best time to remember to do inspections. Okay. Spring forward and fall back when the time changes is a great time for you to remember that you need to go in your properties at least twice a year. It's a good business practice. When I go there, I'm doing a preventative maintenance inspection. Okay. So the intention of my visit is two things: to spy on my tenant, number one. But more importantly, it's to look at what's going on in the property. This is my chance to get in there and see what preventative maintenance needs to be done. Do we need to paint the eaves this year? Are the eaves peeling? Do we have chipping and peeling paint on the eaves on the sunny exposure of the house? Okay, this is your opportunity to look at your ridge cap on your roof, to look in your rain gutters and see if they need to be addressed. This is your chance to look at your smoke detectors to make sure your water heater's strapped, to look at preventative maintenance. Please remember this. We have a problem at our own houses. We do. We really do. And I can say something to you right now and you'll go, oh yeah, huh? Yeah, that is going on. Oops. I guarantee you in your house right now, you probably have a cupboard door that the hinge is a little cattywampus, or, don't open that drawer, the whole front of it will fall off. You guys know what I'm talking about. You guys all have that one cabinet or cupboard or area in your house where it's a problem. Okay, it's an issue. Your tenants have that too. They live there all the time and they deal with it just like you and I do. I'll fix that later. I'll fix that later. I'll address that later. The cabinet's hanging cockeyed. Looks like somebody sat on it when it was swinging open one day, all because the screw fell out. It's not a big deal. The screw's right there. We know how to put it back in. We just need a number 2 screwdriver. And sometimes we wait to go do that. We are not in a hurry to go dig the screwdriver out, find the screw. I'm going to tell you guys something. I have a piece of tape on the back of one of my kitchen chairs. And everybody asked me, what is that? Well, look at the tape real close. You'll see a screw fell out of the chair. And instead of getting a screwdriver and putting the screw back in the chair, I taped the screw to the back of the chair. So I knew where it went. Makes sense, right? Okay, so that's going on in your house. But you don't know because you're not the one there doing the wear and tear. You're not the one there dealing with it every day. So there's a lot of things going on in the properties that we need to be made aware of so that we can address them accordingly. If we need to calculate an exterior paint job into our budget for the upcoming year or the following year, we need to know that, hey, we're going to have to budget for an eave paint or whatever the upgrade needs to be done on the property. Remember, chipping and peeling paint is a problem, okay? Chipping and peeling paint is a habitability issue, okay? Hello, habitability means they don't owe rent. Sorry, I'm trying to get all my girls in here.
Patty, on exterior as well?
Yes, absolutely. We want to look at the exterior of the property for our own peace of mind. Okay. And the meaning of that is if we don't live there, we don't realize the one going on, right? So we may go out to a property and realize that the eaves are so dry rotted because we didn't paint for 10 years. Oops. If you're going to do an interior inspection, check everything. Check the roof, look for leaks. Ask them about leaks. Ask them about repairs. I always say, hey, you guys live here. I don't. Is there something that needs to be addressed? Something that's giving you a trouble? You got a sticky drawer, a sticky cabinet that isn't playing nice? Let me know about it. This is your chance. So those are the types of things that I look for when I go in and do an interior inspection. I use a lot of the tenants' feedback. So I'll ask them blatantly, so do you guys have any repairs I need to know about? You know, that one thing that keep forgetting to mention to me, that cupboard that's sticking, something along those lines. Do you have any running toilets? I always make a joke, you better run after them. It's stupid, I know, but I want them to feed me. They're there. I'm not. I'm not going to sit there and open every cupboard and every door and see what needs to be oiled and lubed and so forth. So I'm actually asking them to tell me. A lot of times they don't realize that something is an issue because they're there every day. They deal with it every day, kind of like us. Oh, we'll get to that later. You know, it's just kind of screw. So it can be a little tricky. Do defeat a lot of them. I'm going to walk around the outside of the interior of the property, looking at the eaves. I'm looking at the ridge cap. I'm making sure no trees are touching my roof, because if they are, my insurance company could cancel me. Yeah. Okay. So there's all kinds of things you're looking at when you're doing an inspection. It isn't just on what the tenant's doing wrong. Okay. There's a lot of moving pieces there that you need to be made aware of and make sure that you're in compliance. Your insurance company will cancel you if you have tree branches touching the roof. So all of these things taken into consideration when you do an interior inspection, it's got a lot of moving pieces. And if you miss something, don't beat yourself up. Just when you go back every 6 months, spring forward, fall back is the best time to remember to go do your interior inspection. And I always ask the tenant to sign. If there's no needed repairs, could you just sign this for me saying that no repairs are needed at this time? It would be greatly appreciated. We'll just put that in our file, document it. That way, if they ever try to sue you and say that you didn't fix something for years, you can help protect your asset. Okay, let me look at the rest of our questions. You may need to change inspection times to match property tax deadlines as they do away with the time change thing. Doubtful, but in play. Totally understand and agree with you. It's just what I use right now for the time change. In the event they take that away, we'll come up with something else to help us remember. You can always use, what did my friend say? Easter and something else. It's like 2 holidays that are about 6 months apart. And for the life of me right at the moment, I'm not going to retain it. So I can hunt it down if we need it. LARSO inspections. Owner wants to inspect but doesn't have keys. Assume we cannot enter with a locksmith if tenant is not there. Yeah, you can. You should be able to have them make you a key and continue on with your inspection. The key there is don't change the lock. Don't lock the tenant out. But yes, you can have the locksmith make you a key so you can gain access and do your job. But don't change the lock. That gets you in trouble. I hope you heard me, Melanie, and you were listening. We definitely need to, Val, we definitely need to implement an inspection schedule. We have been terrible. I just raised the rent on a house after they screamed and cried and pointing out tons of maintenance items, including the entire exterior made of siding that was falling off. Oh my God, just had one bid, $23,000. Oh my God, getting more bids after the endless rain, right? Yeah, those interior inspections let us know about maintenance items, both interior and exterior, and it really does help us prepare for upcoming expenses, you know? Hey, we really need to get that chimney swept. We need to do that. We haven't done in several years. We probably want to do it before the winter season starts, and we're dealing with a chimney fire. So lots of things come into place when you're thinking about doing preventative maintenance inspection. And you want to be as preventative as possible, especially if you're doing fee management. and managing property for profit for someone else. You want to make sure you're extremely diligent. The California Apartment Association has a checklist, a maintenance inspection checklist. It has you checking heaters, water heaters, and garbage disposals, and toilets, and float valves, and water heaters, and yes, okay. So CAA has a preventative maintenance inspection checklist. Got that? Geraldo, habitability issue means they don't owe rent. Really? Please explain. Absolutely. So I don't know how much explaining you want me to go, but I'll go back pretty far, okay? Back in 1970, there was a case law case of Green versus Superior Court of California. I even know the case. Is that impressive? So Green was a tenant and he was evicted out of his property, okay? He was evicted for non-payment of rent. He went back and sued California Superior Court because he had a leaky roof. He had broken and leaky windows. He had an uninhabitable dwelling. Landlord refused to do any repairs, and that is why we have habitability issues today. Green sued all the way to case law until it became the law, okay? So if you want to know what a habitability issue is, you can look on the Department of Consumer and Business Affairs website. They have lists of them. Leaky windows,
I would like
no
to see her
water,
at 3:30 today.
leaking plumbing, slow
I'm
drains,
gonna be here.
no keys, no locks. These are all things that can be habitability issues. I strongly suggest and highly recommend you learn what those issues are so that you can combat them accordingly. If somebody calls you and they need a repair and it's a habitability issue, my theory is fix it yesterday. Don't wait till tomorrow. As far as the habitability issues go, and try to handle it that way. Okay. It works so much better when you know exactly what a habitability issue is versus what's cosmetic. Okay. Cosmetic, keyword there. Cosmetics can become a habitability issue, or something can become a habitability issue if the tenant notifies you of it and you don't repair it for 30 days. On day 31, it could become a habitability issue where they could do a repair and deduct method or withhold rent. Garbage disposals and dishwashers are an amenity. They're not a requirement by law. So if they're not working, not a habitability issue per se, but could become a habitability issue if they're not addressed within 30 days. Look at it this way. If you rent somebody a house with a dishwasher and the dishwasher stops working and you decide you're not going to fix it anymore, could that be considered bait and switch? Just saying. Okay. So we want to be careful with those things that aren't a requirement. Okay. Like an oven and stove, requirement, habitability issue. Dishwasher, amenity. Okay. Hope everybody got that. And I'm going to move away from that unless somebody, oh, we're still talking about them. Okay, hang on. I did my inspection yesterday and got them to sign. Thanks, Patty. Minor paint peeling on exterior balcony should not be a habitability issue. Correct. Correct. However, it could become a habitability issue. Definitely something that you want to address, because if you let that sit there and get dry rotted, sun damaged, everything else, it's going to go to hell in a handbasket in the weather that we have here in California. And then you're going to have a bigger project on your hands. So I would just put that on preventative maintenance inspection and let the landlord know that that's something that they're going to have to do and invest in the upcoming future. Okay. Hi, Melanie. Roadrunner, my peeps. Hi, Patty. San Bernardino County, single family home not covered by the TPA. The tenant has been late on rent every month for 5 months. The property owner wants to make sure he can end tenancy and have just cause. Have you served him a 3-day notice every month? Most likely, yeah, okay. I got questions for you. Do you have a waiver clause in your written rental contract? Because by accepting the rent late, you could have rewrote the rules of when the rent is due. So do you have a waiver clause in your contract? And if you're using car forms, yes, you do have a waiver clause in your contract. That waiver clause allows, it's basically, it's legal terms to say this, okay? So you guys pay attention. Just because I did it in the past doesn't mean I rewrote the rules going forward. So because you paid late this month doesn't mean I have to accept your rent late every month going forward. If you don't have a waiver clause in your contract and you accept the rent late, you are changing when the rent is due. Okay? So if your tenant pays on the 15th and then the 15th turns into the 20th and the 20th turns into the 30th, you're going to have to do a 30-day notice of change of terms of tenancy to revert back to the original terms of the written rental contract as to when the rent is due. Hope that made sense to everybody. I know sometimes I talk too much. I'll shut up now. So let me say this to you guys. For those of you doing fee management, meaning you're managing someone else's property for profit, let me tell you a secret of mine, okay? Right out of the Widget's arsenal of everything you need to know. If you are a property management company that manages property for profit for other people, I highly suggest and strongly recommend that when you bring on a property, you immediately do a 30-day notice of change of terms of tenancy to revert back to the original terms of the written rental contract. Sometimes we waive things or we make oral agreements that can void what our written agreement says, okay? And if a landlord has been managing property or another property management company, I am unaware of any oral agreements that happened. So with that being said, the first thing that I do as a professional property management company is serve the tenant with a 30-day notice of change of terms of tenancy to revert back to the original terms of the written rental contract. That way, everybody knows what the rules are. And there's no, oh, but the previous landlord said I could, we're reverting back to the original terms of the written rental contract. And those are the rules we're going to follow. Here's your 30-day notice. And that's a better business practice for you guys that are doing fee management and taking something on. We don't know what agreements a landlord made with a tenant or what the previous management company did or didn't do. So rather than just walk into it blindly and wait for the tenant to tell you how the relationship's gonna go, take control at hello. Hi, I'm your property manager. I'll be serving you a notice. It's going to be a 30-day notice to change of terms, and it's going to be to revert back to the original terms of our written rental contract. That way you and I know what the rules are, and there's no question about what we're doing here. Better business practice, okay? And then hang on, let me see what else I got. I gotta go back. All right, so you got that, my little Roadrunner team. Anytime you bring on something, I always do a 30-day notice to change the terms of tenancy to revert back to the original terms of the written rental contract attached herein, okay? And go that direction. Better business practice. That way, and let me explain the why behind this, okay? That way, if the landlord previously waived when the rent is due by accepting it late and there's no waiver clause in the contract, now you're rewriting it so the rules, you got to follow the rules in writing. So everybody knows. So it's very simple to follow, okay? I got to go backwards, Roadrunner, let me know. So once the habitability issues are fixed, then they need to pay the rent they withheld. They don't owe the rent while those things aren't fixed, okay? Look at it this way. If the oven in my house doesn't work, the oven and stove, I don't owe rent until the oven and stove is fixed. The day the oven and stove is fixed, I owe rent again. So in a perfect world, if they paid March's rent and on the 10th of the month, they notified you the stove was out and it took you to the 15th of the month to get it fixed, you owe them 5 days of a rent credit for that month. If this all happened and they didn't pay the rent yet for that month, as soon as the stove was fixed, I'd adjust their rent for that month by giving them a rent credit for those 5 days, and then I'd serve them a 3-day notice on the difference. Okay, everybody got it? Do I, as a landlord, need to sign the form if no repairs made or just the tenant? You can both sign. The key is trying to get the tenant to sign that no repairs are needed on that day at that time. That way, if they try to sue you 2 years from now, saying that you never provided them with, help me, you guys, a garbage disposal. I'm just reaching for straws here. Then you can say, oh, well, I was in there on this day at this time and inspected, and you didn't tell me about it then. In fact, you put in writing that no repairs were needed, so I'm confused. So it just helps you prove that no repairs are needed on that day at that time. So if they try to come back and say, well, you didn't fix it for 2 years, that's what's going to help protect your asset. That's all. Patty, can we evict for non-payment? Yes. In the city of Montebello, LA County, yes. If it's less than fair market that LAHD provided. Thank you. I believe that the LAHD fair market value is for the city of Los Angeles and not the county, but I could be mistaken. I'm 99% sure I'm right on this one, Gabby. Minimum rent to a market rent before you can serve a 3-day notice applies to the city of Los Angeles, not the county of Los Angeles. And I don't believe that it applies to the unincorporated cities in the county of LA. That only applies to the city of LA. So can you evict in the county of Los Angeles, in the city of Montebello, if it's less than fair market value provided by LAHD? Yes, you can, because that fair market value, I'm 99% sure, only applies to the city of Los Angeles. So that would make it susceptible. But let me add a caveat in here, as long as they don't self-certify. So if they haven't self-certified, you should process now to get going. Is it also working for Larso? We're doing eviction successfully in LARSO right now, here at the law firm. I'm letting people in, so bear with me. Admit all. So we are doing evictions in city of LA under Larso. The biggest thing that you guys have to combat there is litigation. I mean, I don't mean to sound like a Debbie Downer here, but the reality is eviction is a nasty process. And if you're in LA County, it's going to be even nastier. Okay. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm sorry. The free legal counsel teaches your tenant to be litigious. No. Litigious? Yeah, litigious. That's the word. Means that you're ready to sue happy. Okay. The free legal counsel provided to the tenants teaches them to do that, teaches them to be that way. Okay. Hope that makes sense. Val, I can see you. I'm sorry. It's those little ones, you know? We have an old house with a floor heater. The tenants do not like it as they have small children. I know all about floor heaters and small children, trust me. My first problem with a floor heater, small children, was in Big Bear, in the snow, way back in the day. They let us know they would not be using it as we have tried to have it annually serviced. I just let it go, assuming they are using personal space heaters or whatever. But this conversation is making me think I better get them to sign something. Actually, Val, don't overthink it, okay? Let me say this. If they don't notify you of a repair, you don't have to fix anything. They have heat, they just choose not to use it. I'd let this one go quietly into the night, Val, no joke. They have heat. They have not notified me that it is not working, so they owe rent until they notify me otherwise. Okay, don't overthink that one. I got you. I understand what you're thinking and where your head went, but don't overthink it, okay? Please don't overthink it. They have to tell you they don't have heat. They haven't done that, so what are you worried about? They're not using it and burning their children's feet, okay? So what are you worried about? I'm trying. Worry about something else, honey. That's a non-issue to worry about. I saw something else come through. Hang on. They notified you they wouldn't be using it, right? You didn't tell them they can't. Night and day, cause and effect. You're golden. Just sit there and be quiet, okay? I had somebody very recently that said, I don't know what to do. A caregiver came to the property and took the tenant, and they've had them at a care facility for like 11 months now. Okay, is your rent getting paid? Oh yeah, the rent's getting paid every month. They have direct deposit. Okay, so let me get this straight. You're upset because there's absolutely no wear and tear going on in your unit and no repairs in your unit, and you're getting paid every month. What's the problem? I'm confused. I hope that makes sense to you guys. If you have a tenant that got taken to a care facility or visits out of the state or out of the country for that matter, why they're not at the property, they're not creating damage and they're not creating wear and tear. So if you're getting paid, what's the problem? I'm confused. I'm just trying to get your heads to think a different way. Okay? Okay, I think I planted that seed. What is the best course of action for two tenants that don't get along? Tell them to shoot each other. We'll see who's quicker at the draw. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I didn't say that. It's a duplex with a 2-car wide drive for them to share, and one tenant keeps blocking in the other. We have told the tenants that the parking areas for tenants only. We have served 3-day notice not to block in either there and have guests park in street, but twice now, one tenant keeps having guest park in the driveway and continue to block the other tenant in. Post a notice of a tow truck company within the area that will come tow upon notification. Serve everybody with a 30-day notice, a change of terms of tenancy, letting them know that if they're caught parking there, they will be towed. Even their guests, they will be towed. I had a problem similar like this on a triplex. Same kind of concept because the driveway went all the way back to the back end of the property. So if you have the tenant in a 1-lane driveway, come in and park, and the person in the next 2 units can't get back to their unit. You know how I fixed the problem? I'm such an ass sometimes. I had the landlord put a fence up at the drive so nobody could use it anymore. And they all had to park out at the street and walk back. You want to play games with me? We'll play games. I fenced it off. Spike strip. I like it. I fenced it off. Cost me $400, didn't have any more problems. Oh, but we can't use the driveway anymore. Well, unfortunately, there was some issues with using the driveway, and rather than having cars towed, I just decided to take away the driveway. You can park in the street now. Got it? Okay. Spray a paint line, put up a strike strip. Val, I love you. You crack me up. So I hate duplexes and triplexes. One of the very first properties I ever had to manage was a triplex. And there was a little older gentleman in unit B, and A and C both had a couple in them. Husband worked in one unit, wife worked in the other unit. Anyway, needless to say, while the cat's away, sometimes the mice will play, and they ended up having an affair between unit A and unit C, and unit B told on them, and they all moved out within 24 hours of each other. What a nightmare. Who cares if A and C are having an affair? Oh, B cares. So B went and told A and C's other spouses and got the whole unit fighting with each other. And then within 24 hours, all of them moved out. That's when I decided single family residence was much better for me. Just saying. It was. I don't like duplexes or triplexes for that reason. Once I had to build a partition in a shared garage due to one hoarding tenant. Yeah, I mean, the stuff that we do is ridiculous. It could have been a great TV series. I agree with you, Val. Some of this stuff that these. So I'm going to share with you on the other side, okay? On the other side of the fence. I'm going to share a landlord story, okay? This one happens to be in LA, in RSO. And this is a family matter. I don't know if anybody has told you guys, but family and business don't mix. Family and investment property, also business, doesn't mix, okay? Niece rented property from great grandma in LA, in RSO. Niece decided she was going to stop paying and hold the house hostage. Mama and auntie got involved and started talking for grandma because grandma's in her 90s. And mama and auntie were scolding me because she's now asking for a trial by jury. She doesn't want to owe any money. She'll move out if you waive the rent owed. I don't want to waive the rent owed. She's not going to learn her lesson. My mama wouldn't be happy about that. She needs to learn her lesson. She has a lesson she needs to learn. But you don't need to teach the lesson. When you rent to family, you have emotions that are involved, and they go from one side of the fence to the other side of the fence in a very rapid fashion. This poor woman and her auntie refused to settle with the niece because they wanted her to learn her lesson. She had to owe that money. They ended costing great grandma a butt ton of money because they wouldn't settle for possession. Because she needed to learn her lesson. She can't treat other people this way. This isn't going to help her with her life goals. Whenever family's involved, I always go, oh, I'm so sorry. Because it's going to be bad. No matter what happens, it's going to be bad. I'm trying, you guys. I'm trying. I don't like duplexes and triplexes for that reason. Okay. And it does. It works like Peyton's Place and Melrose Place. And I don't like the drama. I don't need the drama. I'm single because I don't like drama. I need a shirt that says this is a drama-free zone. All right. Anybody have anything in particular they want to talk about? I'm getting asked, I got you, Geraldo. I'll come back to you. Give me 2 seconds, okay? I keep getting asked about LA City's moratorium and LA County moratorium. Please stop telling me the LA city has a moratorium. No, they don't. It expired. What they have is an ordinance. So they didn't call it a moratorium. It's not a temporary law anymore. It's permanent in LA City. Okay? Okay. LA County should expire at the end of this month. I'll know for sure on March 31st if you want to touch bases with me. There's no talk of it being extended except by tenants and tenant advocate groups. I have a feeling if they extend it again in the county, it might cause some civil unrest because a lot of us are at our full meter. Okay, we're done. Stick a fork in us. So I don't know what's going to happen. I've been saying that this pandemic would be ending for about 3 years now, and I'm tired of having egg on my face. So I am not going to make any comments as to whether it will be extended on April Fool's Day or not. Okay. I have my fingers crossed. I have my toes crossed. I have my eyes crossed. The reality is I've been saying that this is going to end for quite some time now. I'm tired of saying it. I just want it to be done with. There's no talk of them extending in LA County at this time. That could change on the 31st. We'll see what happens with the powers that be. What is your advice on tankless water heaters? I got a couple of opinions on them. They go pretty good. I lived in a house with a tankless water heater. It was great as long as you set the timer. There is a timer on a tankless water heater, just so everybody knows. And what you do is you set the time parameters for it to make more hot water during times you would use more hot water. Example, if you're someone that showers in the morning, you may want to have it have hot water on demand from 6 a.m. to 7:30. I'm just talking out loud. If you're someone that showers in the evenings, you may want to change that so that it accommodates you accordingly. Okay, so there's a couple things you can do to fit your lifestyle. When a tenant changes, the lifestyle changes too. So you need to ask them, and it comes off a little odd, don't you think? I mean, are you a nighttime shower or a morning shower? Or do you like to shower in the middle of the day? It's a bizarre question, especially if your tenant's female and you're not. Watch yourself. And I hope me explaining it like that clicked because it can sound dirty, very dirty. So I would explain right out of the gate, this home has a tankless water heater. And in order to facilitate it to your needs, we'd like to know when you need the majority of your hot water. Would that be in the mornings for showers or in the evenings for showers? So that you can adjust the timer accordingly. Got it? That's the biggest problem we have with tankless water heaters is we will gear it in to a tenant's lifestyle, but when that tenant changes, the lifestyle changes too, and you're right back in, we're going to have problems until we figure out when they want hot water. Make sense? I thought the point of the tankless, no, it is, Val. It is because it is tankless, it provides hot water on demand. But if you want enough hot water to take a shower, you need to tell it about what times you would be using that hot water on demand so that it can prepare accordingly. Mind you, this was about 10 years ago. Systems may be advanced now, and I may be talking about old technology. I'm just telling you what I had happen to me with a tankless water heater problem. Also had the tenant call me, and this tenant told me that the water heater was leaking. It's tankless. How's the water heater leaking? It wasn't the water heater. It was a wax ring on the toilet. Wrong appliance, sweetheart. Also happens to be the same house that called me out there because they had mold in their bathroom. Try cleaning your sink. Just saying. This is Actually improper housekeeping, and it's probably due to poor ventilation. This restroom is a sink and a toilet and doesn't have a window to open, and it doesn't have a fart fan installed. So we need to install a fart fan and probably keep this door open and the light on. Val, I love you. You're awesome. You always make me giggle. Thank you, Allie. I saw that giggle too. My 2 cents on the tankless is the size. Must buy the heater to match the size of the house or the unit. Can't buy a tiny heater for a large house. It also doesn't help either if you get inundated with residents. So like, as an example, if you have a big house party over Christmas and everybody's over and they're all showering, it's going to be bad. That's where tankless is bad. It can't keep up always. It just can't. It tries, but it can't. All right. Anybody have anything else? Now that you know my trick on tankless water heaters, don't do it unless technology has changed. I wouldn't do it. But I did have one with the tankless water heater.
With the tankless, Patty, it's really important that they are maintained annually and drained.
And you gotta, when
I put in a second one, so there are 2, so that it covers if one is, if there are more people in the house using it.
So she put in 2 of them, folks. Ouch. We just got to be careful, okay? What is the name again of your eviction firm, please? I don't own an eviction firm. Full disclosure, full disclosure. I work at Fast Eviction Service. I work there. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay. I wanted a better idea of understanding the legal process, and it was the firm that I used at the time. So I talked to the attorneys and the bosses here, and they said, well, come on over and we'll teach you and we'll grow together. And that's what we've been doing ever since. I have a much better understanding of the law and how it works. And I have no desire to become an attorney. Just saying. But yes, I'm at Fast Eviction Service. Is it legal to move a water heater to the garage? It could be. You're gonna have to check with building and safety. The garage on my 6-bedroom house in Victorville is where the water heater is. So I know it is capable. They have to be vented properly, especially if it's a gas appliance. And you're gonna have to pull permits because you're changing gas lines. Okay. It is possible. I definitely have a licensed contractor do it. I wouldn't do it myself, but I'm this much of a handy ma'am. I'm not a handy man, handy ma'am, and I'm about this much. I can use a screwdriver. I can use a screw gun. I can build a shelf. I can tell you all about your water heater parts and pieces and piezo switches and heating elements and thermocouplers and what they do and what the problems are when one of those goes out. It's disgusting. I never, ever in my lifetime thought that I would know so much about toilets and water heaters. Ever. Yeah, I'm a toilet pro. Can I say? I will never forget. I was moving someone into a property one day, and in a 3-piece business suit in 6-inch stilettos, I have my Phillips screwdriver. I have the tank off the back of the toilet, and I am attempting to adjust the float valve because the toilet is running. Okay. So I tell the people, because they show up for the an inspection, I'm in here and I'll be right out. Go ahead and have a look around. We'll go and pick it, the screw to turn. It's stuck. It's frozen. So I have my fingernail now jammed into the screw, and I'm turning it, and I'm trying to put more pressure on my nail so that I can make it go around because the screwdriver is not helping me. And I'm grunting because it's my fingernail, you know, I hear the husband outside of the bathroom door now, and the door's wide open, going, "Are you okay in there? Do you need something?" And then I realized I'm in the bathroom grunting, and they don't know what I'm doing in here. So I said, "Yeah, can you hand me that other screwdriver?" And he goes, "A screwdriver?" I said, "I'm adjusting the float valve." And he goes, "Oh, of course you are. Of course you are." And he comes in and hands me the screwdriver as I'm sitting on the back of the toilet with my suit rolled up and I'm arms deep in this toilet trying to adjust the float valve. And then my contractor tells me, "Patty, all you had to do was bend the arm." Okay, you got me. You got me. I tried to do it the right way. Next time I'll just bend it. God love me for trying to do things the right way, right? One time at a move-in, a cabinet was hanging cockeyed in the tenant. "Oh, we don't know if we can move in here because this cabinet's all cockeyed," and she's running her mouth. Well, I grab my screwdriver, I walk over there, I tighten it up, I open it, I close it, I open it, I close it. I said, "Work order's complete. Did you want to sign off on that now?" "Oh, did you just fix that?" "Yeah, I'm capable." Actually taught a tenant how to flip a breaker. And at the end of the conversation is when she told me, "Oh, by the way, I'm pregnant." And I told her, "Well, when your husband comes home tonight, just tell him that you fixed it. Don't tell him anything else. Just tell him you fixed it. He'll be so impressed with you. Don't tell him how. Don't tell him who, when, where, what, and why. Just enjoy the moment." Good times. Toilets and water heaters are my forte, unfortunately. Damn it. And I probably know a little bit more about stoves than I want to, igniters, things like that. There's some things women just shouldn't need to know about, you know? The thing I want to do. All right, you guys, I'm getting off of here because I feel like I'm listening to me ramble, but I'm running out of things to talk to you about today unless you give me something. So if you guys need to know about something, let's talk about it. Let's get it out there in the open. If you don't, I'm going to get off of here and get back to work. I got things to do. AOA has a trade show coming up soon. I want to say April. AGLA's is in May. I plan on being there. I don't know if I'll be speaking. I'm probably not going to be speaking at AOA trade show, but I will be there. So I'll be at the LA Convention Center in April, and I'll be in the Pasadena Convention Center in May. So watch for me. I will be coming that direction. I'm also hitting up San Diego in the near future. So if you guys are going to ask me the dates, I don't know. AOA's trade shows in April, AGLA's trade shows in May. That's all I know right at this moment. Next Wednesday, I'll give you guys the exact dates, okay? Hopefully we can all see each other. I love that when we get together. I love it. I love it. I will let you know the dates. I will let you guys know. All right, you guys have a great week. If you need me for anything, let me know. Val, I'll be checking in with you and Tammy one evening this week, just so we can touch base, because I feel like all of a sudden I got you going in the right direction with all your ducks and you're just running wild with it. You're not checking in with me anymore. And I don't know if I like I went on your own feet and you're running and you're doing your thing and it's working for you, because that's what this is all about. So I'm glad I can help you guys get there. It's a great sense of confidence knowing that you know what you're doing with your investment property. It feels really good when we say something to a tenant with confidence and we know what we're talking about. We're spot on and it's working perfect. So yes, I miss you guys. All right, you guys have a great week. I am here if you need me. Happy St. Patrick's Day this weekend. Enjoy your green mashed potatoes. Bye, you guys. Stay dry. Yes, I saw that, Allie. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. I love you guys. Have a great week. Hunt me down if you need me. Bye.